Guys,
Hello.
welcome to our last meeting this year for this project. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoying the last days and ready to go for vacation or I don't know, somewhere out of Magento world for some week. Yep. For today we have actually not so many. I made a diagram which I also posted in channel and on Twitter also. Wait, I'll share my screen. I hope you. Which screen do you see? Ah, yeah, good. So, yep, I have here this page on our wiki. Make it a bit bigger. Hope everybody see it. So generally, the small diagram which is showing the status and work which we plan to do in case of the endpoints and APIs which we want to develop in our module. So if start from the beginning, we have this file import endpoint, which has several use cases. One of them is already has the pull request, not on main repository, but I hope when my pull request will be done, then this will also appear on our repository. And then we have the import start operations. We have get import information. We have profiling endpoints here, and yeah, that's all generally. I mean, I will not go in details. We're ready to discuss it. If you have any questions, concerns, you can just go there, have a look. Feel free to propose some changes if you want to. But generally, yeah, that's it. Hope the new developers also will find this useful for them. Cool. Good. That's part number one, which I have part number two. Vova made a review of the pull request of the base extension, which is most cases. I agree. Concerning to your questions, why we have source interface and we have source data interface, because wait, when I'm wrong, wait, I'll go to client documents. Base extension. Because before idea what this looks like this, so we have the file ID on post and then the source, but you generally write we don't need such complex structure here, because we also expect that it will be executed asynchronously, and the file ID when we create a new file, like push a new file in a system, not really necessary on empty ones, on a create endpoint. Only case which we had in mind before, that was the base64 upload in a parts. So when you upload the multiple parts, that maybe like you send the first request to get a file ID, and then next parts are coming to the same file ID. But I think it's still not necessary here, because we again can send those parts asynchronously. This means we just push, let's say, 5 parts of the files to the endpoints, and the system have to recognize them like a part of one file and merge them together. And on this step, the file ID is useless here because we generally have to get the information. That's also maybe somebody has. Yeah.
My point was that, like, in source interface, we have source ID and source,
Yeah.
get source ID and get source, and
Yeah.
this confused because like get source returns source data interface, which also have source ID, and this like confuse in those interfaces source ID will be the same or not. Probably if we it might be a good idea to proceed with initial idea, but maybe just fixing of naming collision will help just to clearly communicate what was the purpose of those interfaces.
But
Because now we have like in data namespace we have source interface and data source data interface, which is like pretty strange, like not clear and obvious what is proposed of those interfaces.
Yeah, I got your point. But also maybe somebody else has an idea. In general, do we need the source ID or file ID in this endpoint at all? Because we didn't see any use case for it when you post a new file in a system for import. So I would generally be rather to eliminate it and then make the structure a bit simpler also for developers. Any thoughts? Okay, looks like not. Then I will kill it. I mean, if you have nothing against it, then I would make it one level. So when we have only the generally, wait, when we have it like this.
Oh, I missed part of conversation, but Volodymyr's concern seemed very valid to me. That
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for the name, we need this two-level structure, or we can stay with this endpoint, which you can see on my screen. So we have only one level. We have a source, and then parameters of the source input, and we don't need complex like we have it here. When we have that's our source, and that's our source data. So I don't see a case when we need two levels here.
I mean, I'm not sure I have a good opinion on that, but can you please show the API service contract?
You mean this one, or you mean the file itself? What do you mean? Done? Or it's just very slow everything for you and you get answers in 5 minutes after I said them?
I believe Anton wanted to look at service contract.
On the code, you mean? Is he still here? I guess.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So we have generally here our import model, which is generally doing the import itself. It's quite basic when we have our processors which define how to process the source. With a general CSV related external link base64, and then it's doing its upload itself. So first of all, we find out which processor we have to use, then we do an upload, and then we set in a response, which is totally other topic for now. The generally all, that's nothing else here. And from interfaces, we have the source interface where generally I already aligned it a bit. That's currently now one level. When we have source ID type status data and created it as get.
And import data is string. Okay.
Import data in our case, that was generally what we import in can be different, can be link, relative link, or base64 body as minimum.
And what data dimensions do we have for this interface? So we have import type like products, customers, something like that, right?
No, import type is first of all, wait, stop. We currently only uploading the file in the system. We're not starting any import. In this case, we only manipulate the source, like the import data. What we are importing, is it like path or external path or content? Then we have import type, which is then defining this local path external, and we have the source type. Is it like the file CSV, XML, whatever else.
Okay. So we are uploading files, so we starting new import. So when we create, so can you go back to import interface, please?
You mean
Sorry,
this one?
yeah,
Or you mean...
import interface. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have import interface that has method
It's
import.
only uploading the file. It's not starting the import.
Yes. So I'm thinking about that we probably need better naming for this to make sure that people understand what's happening here, because
You mean like
we
not
have
an import, but
just
kind of
name
upload.
an operation, whatever it means, so that people understand what it actually does. Because import sounds like you import on import interface.
Okay. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Agree. Okay.
So think about naming, and I think if you're a name operation, the names for your interfaces, or the name for your interface will be natural.
Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah, then I will align this part to have it more user friendly.
Do you have anything else?
No, I guess for now that's all. So I'll make these changes. And yeah, I had generally one question. We have this architectural pull request which we merged and which we are continuously changing. Do you have some good workaround there? Like, should it make every time the pull request to change it, or what is a good way here?
I would say keep one pull request. It's like start the pull request and change it every time. Every time you add something, but keep that pull request open, and when we are at some stage, merge that pull request.
Okay, sounds good. Good. Okay, yeah, then that's generally all from my side. If somebody has a questions, let me know.
No question. Thank you. Nice Magento logo you have there.
Merry Christmas. I like it. Self-made.
Different, like wrong color, but it's okay.
Let's think that's your camera.
Okay, good.
Okay, then.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy New Year. See you next year then, guys. Bye. Ciao, ciao.